also very honored to have the CEO of Northam Platinum, and the CEO Paul Dunne is going to give us a presentation telling us the future productivity of the Northam Platinum. Please, Mr. Paul Dunne, the floor is yours.
Guests and ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Dunne, the CEO of Northam Platinum Holdings. It's a mining company in South Africa listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. We are excited to be part of the Shanghai Platinum Week, and we would like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to present our company to you this morning. Let me start by giving some background of PGM mining in South Africa. This is a map of the world-renowned Bushveld complex, and this geological feature hosts 80% of PGM resources and accounts for 75% of global PGM production. 90% of global rhodium production also comes from this region. For scale, the Bushveld is around 350 kilometers east to west and 200 kilometers north to south. This is a very unusual concentration of strategic metals. Can you imagine if 80% of the world's copper was situated in one country? It's a tremendous concentration of the strategic metals called platinum group metals. At Northam, we have 3 wholly owned operations: Zondereinde mine in the northwest, Eland mine in the southwest, and Booysendal in the southeast. These are significant mines with integrated primary concentrators for the extraction of PGMs and chrome. We also have downstream metallurgical complex for smelting and base metal removal. We have a 34% equity stake in Royal Bafokeng Platinum, and finally we also hold 50% stake in a prospect called Dwaalkap in partnership with Sibanye-Stillwater. We also have a small refining operation near Philadelphia in North America. This is Zondereinde. It is South Africa's deepest but highest grade platinum mine. This is a photograph of 1 and 2 shaft headgears, and these are the 2 original shafts that have been in operation since the early 90s. Zondereinde has enough reserves to mine at current capacity for longer than 30 years. You can see other surface infrastructure supporting the shafts together with the PGM and chrome concentrator. At 2,300 meters deep, the virgin rock temperature is 68 degrees C, and this requires large refrigeration and ventilation to cool the workplace in order to enable mining. Zondereinde is what we call a conventional mine. This is where employees mostly use handheld equipment to drill blast holes. This is one of our rock drill operators, and this is typical of the conditions you may find in South African conventional mines. The UG2 reef is the black portion of the face. You can also see the hanging wall blast on mesh and LED lighting. Both these safety initiatives are considered best practice. It's a tough working environment, as you can see, and perhaps the price of platinum should be a little bit higher. This is a view of the metallurgical complex. In the foreground, we have the base metal removal plant where we refine copper and nickel, and behind that is the smelter house, in which we have 2 main furnaces. The stack is 220 meters tall. This is the highest stack in the industry, even taller than the famous Anglo Platinum stack in Rustenburg, Benny. During the previous year, we refurbished our number 1 furnace, and we've also installed 2 dedicated recycling furnaces. I see I didn't change the slide, but there we go. That's the stack, 220 meters tall. Closer look at the metallurgical complex. You can see from this picture that the area surrounding the facility is neat, well maintained. This improves working conditions, efficiencies, and overall environmental conditions. Here you see the youngest PGM shaft in the industry. It's our number 3 shaft. Also at Zondereinde, you can see the older complex in the background. And this shaft is a world record for the deepest shaft sunk using a rock cutting machine. This fully mechanized method of shaft sinking is safer, quicker, and cheaper than conventional blind sink operations. This next picture is of our Boisendal North mine, and this is a fully mechanized mine. It has a small footprint and produces 220,000 ounces per annum. It's also one of the lowest cost PGM mines in the world. This is the Boisendal Central mine, situated in the same valley as Boisendal North. We use rope conveyors to move ore over large distances with very little impact on the environment. This is again a very compact footprint given the size of the production base, and the entire surface infrastructure is covering less than 5 hectares. And this is why we mine at Boisendal. The UG2 reef that you see here carries almost 1 ounce of PGM per square meter mined. The fully mechanized mining methods in combination with the high PGM content leads to a very competitive cost outcome. Apart from platinum, the UG2 ore body contains special metals required for the hydrogen economy, ruthenium and iridium. The dark bands in the reef are caused by the presence of chrome. Northam exports 1.2 million tons per annum of chrome ore directly into China for the ferrochrome industry. Here is an aerial view of our newest mine, Eland. This is in early development phase, and the property extends 9 kilometers on strike and 6 kilometers on depth. And the ore body is accessed by 3 decline shafts and an open pit section. Northam has a number of renewable energy projects currently under construction. This is one of the solar projects at Eland, and our combined solar and wind projects will be able to supply 60% of our energy requirements by the end of this decade once all projects are completed. We believe in the medium-term outlook for our metals, and it remains robust. The catalytic properties of PGMs continue to provide unique solutions to the requirements of the modern world. New applications are leading to additional demand, including for the hydrogen economy, and the evolving quest to reduce carbon released into the atmosphere. However, the global mining environment is becoming increasingly constrained, and the cost of producing metal and building new mining operations continues to rise, whilst regulators and lobbyists occasionally delay or even prohibit new mines. This applies to PGMs, base metals, battery metals, and energy metals right across the board. The barriers to entry are increasing, not decreasing. We continue to hold the view that the metal markets in general will remain tight. And at Northam, we're striving to produce at the bottom of the cost curve while securing quality ore bodies to ensure our sustainability into the future. A key underpin to Northam's growth strategy is our bottom-up analysis of PGM mining potential across the world. And this is illustrated in the following 3 graphs, forecasting primary supply or mine supply for platinum, palladium, and rhodium out to 2040. We have included production derived from South African operations commenced prior to 2000 and prior to 2010, and this illustrates the point very well. Resources are finite, and without the addition of new projects, production will inevitably fall. For platinum, we see an accelerating contraction in supply from the South African production base. And the market generally tends not to believe this until it's seen in the print. But it is compounded by a particularly challenging operational backdrop. For palladium, South Africa will be similarly impacted, and critically, global palladium producers are experiencing headwinds in the execution of previously announced growth projects. And finally, for rhodium, we forecast a similar declining production profile as to that of platinum. This is a bottom-up analysis on a shaft-by-shaft basis from resources through to reserves through to final production, and includes all announced projects and assumes all reserves can be mined economically. Given this depletion picture, We retain the view that the value of a production ounce will strengthen over the remainder of the decade. Northam's expansion program remains on track to deliver our medium-term target of 1 million ounces of production. This will come from the ongoing ramp-up at Boysendal, and Eland will begin to deliver over the coming 3 years. The commissioning of 3 shafts at Zondereinde will deliver, that mine will be able to deliver 350,000 ounces per annum. In addition, we will continue to leverage our downstream processing assets by treating third-party material, which adds revenue at a significantly lower operating risk. In line with our expanding production profile, Northam has achieved consistent earnings growth, earnings per share, and headline earnings per share for the last reporting period were 15.96 Rand and 16.09 Rand, respectively. Mining companies thrive on the quantity and quality of the ore bodies available to them, and the operators of sustainable mining assets will yield superior returns over time. And to conclude, at Northam, we believe in PGMs, and we will continue to invest in our future. As time goes by, PGM assets will become rarer and more valuable. They are very special metals indeed. Thank you very much for the warm reception that we have received in Shanghai. Thank you very much.